What's going on, Jason? Are you voting for the tyrannical dictator on day one?
Actually, no, I'm voting for Donald J. Trump. And I actually had a question for you. I heard all your arguments. I've been on this live for like 20 minutes, man. I'm 20 years old. How are you going to sit here, disrespect a veteran for one? I ain't over that because that's messed up. You're sitting there telling him that he's a piece of shit, he's this, he's that, because of his political opinion. He went out there and fought so you can sit at that desk that you're sitting at right now, make stupid little TikTok videos, and make a living off that. Not everyone's as lucky as you.
Yeah, so Jason, what I actually said was I questioned his motivations for fighting, protecting, and serving our country. So I asked him why he fought, and he told me he fought to protect the American democracy and our civil rights, liberties, and freedoms. But then he turns around and he votes for Trump, who launched the biggest internal attack on our democracy and those freedoms since the Civil War by attempting to circumvent, undermine them, to rig and steal the election from Biden, and to install himself for a second term. I think it is more than valid for me to question his motivations for serving our country, given that fact. That's not disrespect. It is the unfortunate state of reality, sir. And if you take that as disrespect, I have an astounding revelation for you, sir. Sometimes the facts hurt.
Oh man, do you see two sides to anything, man? Like not even just politics. Like, do you see two sides to anything? Like, you sit there, you say this about Kamala Harris.
Skylar, thank you for the $50 on PayPal. Saying, hey, Dean, it's Skylar. Thank you for shitting on Jason. Let's get at least 500 W's in the chat for Skylar. Thank you so much for the $50 donation. That is so kind of you. Thank you so much for the love, Skylar. Massive W's in the chat for Skylar. Please show her some love.
You have
and
never
Skylar, thank
paid
you
a
so
bill
much
in
for your
life,
donation.
baby.
I
You
appreciate
probably still
you.
live with your mother.
Jason, you are 20 years old. Quit the fucking yap.
I moved out when I was 18.
I moved out when I was 17. I beat you by a year.
17? So you got
crazy.
What? You got beat as a kid?
Fucking crazy.
It shows.
Okay, so I got beat by a kid because I vote for Harris?
Beat as a kid, not by a kid. Jesus, get your English in check, kid.
So we have like a very smart, intelligent, and honestly, like a standing member of our American community here. So I just want to clarify. I'm telling you that I'm not voting for Trump because he, tried to overthrow our democracy. He instituted tax policy that he couldn't pay for and disproportionately benefited rich people.
I ain't saying I'm no genius or nothing.
Hey,
all I'm saying
Jason,
is
can you put the binky in the mouth?
When I go to the grocery store, I know the difference between paying $50 and $100.
So how did Biden and Harris cause inflation? Also, I just want to clarify. Jason was just laughing at abuse. They actually shut down the
pipeline. They shut down the pipeline, and that was the start to everything. Because we have to get all our imports now from other countries because we can't make our own oil. And that's why Trump had the pipeline. That's how it all started, since you want to start.
Jason, I'm about to make you look terrible. Are you ready?
What? Because America can't make their own fucking oil when they shut down the pipeline? And you're going to say, oh, environmental bullshit. I don't fucking care. Kill the earth for all I care. I want my gas prices cheap, bro. I don't care.
So you'd say that we're not making American oil right now?
After the shit Biden did for the past 4 years, y'all gotta wake the hell up.
Like, okay, so actually, I went on pause to try to
did your mommy come in and yell at you?
No, I went on pause to try to screenshot the U.S. Energy Information Administration to provide you the source behind my head because I know you're gonna reject it, but it cut out weird. It's not built for.
Oh no, I ain't stupid. The U.S. probably does make oil.
I just wanted to clarify. Hey, Jason, I just wanted to clarify. The U.S. is currently producing more oil than it ever has been before, including under Trump's administration. Do you feel embarrassed?
Well, I want you to look up that pipeline and tell me how much of that fucking made it go down.
Okay, yeah, so you're talking about the Keystone XL pipeline. It actually didn't decrease the oil supply in the U.S. at all, predominantly because it wasn't producing any oil yet. It was still under construction, and secondarily because it wasn't U.S. owned, it was owned by Canada, and it was shut down by the Supreme Court through a court order. Do you feel embarrassed?
So basically what you're saying is that inflation was completely caused by nothing, and it just ran up because of Corona? You really think Corona...
So inflation was caused by the pandemic. Inflation didn't just happen here at home in the U.S., but it happened everywhere around the globe, every single country. However, the U.S. did have the quickest rebound from the inflation onset by the pandemic out of any other country in the world. Do you feel embarrassed?
I don't feel embarrassed at all, man. You should feel embarrassed with that fucking gay-ass hair you got. Like, dead
Okay,
ass. You look
so,
stupid, bro.
do you mind if I ask you why you want to associate the term gay with a negative connotation? I don't think it's like appropriate to further marginalize members of the LGBTQ plus community by associating the term gay with negative stigmatizations. But of course, you're not going to find any issue with that. In fact, you're just going to laugh about it because you have the brain
hell
of a
yeah.
frog. So I just want to clarify here. You actually couldn't reduce your position to conceding to the facts that I provided you via the U.S. Energy
You either like
Information
the biggest
Administration
pick
and
me
the facts
boy, or
insofar
you
as
like
what
it up
caused
your ass.
inflation. So then your response is that I'm attracted to other men. How many continents are there?
You think I'm
Yeah,
stupid? There's
yeah,
13 continents. I'm not
There's
fucking
13
idiot.
Oh my God, you just said, and I quote, there is 13 continents. I am not an idiot. Oh my God, chat. See, this guy's 20 years old, the same age as me.
I ain't go
When
to
was your
college. I
birthday?
went to trade like a real
Oh
motherfucking
my
man.
God, dude.
I didn't sit here on
There-
TikTok like you.
hey, Jason, there's 7 continents, buddy. I feel embarrassed that I'm the same age as you.
Congratulations.
Oh my God, dude.
Congratulations. I don't
That's
even know,
fucking
man. I don't give a shit.
hilarious. Yo, Elizabeth with the $20 on Venmo. A 20-year-old Dim versus a 20-year-old MAGA supporter. I'm proud to be a Democrat. Thank you, Dean. That's the difference. Chat, for the 4.3 thousand people in here, this guy's the same age as me. Look at the fucking difference. I talk about the facts, I talk about the stats, and god damn it, I know how many continents there are.
All right,
What
how
is
about
his
we talk about
argument?
Kamala
You are
Harris? We're not here to talk
GAY.
about
Yeah, I
continents.
think that's funny. I have more donations to thank. Hold on, little boy. Madison, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love. Tell this little boy to whoa. Yup, I appreciate you for the love, Madison. And Skylar with the $20 on PayPal. He said 13 continents. My son is 6 and he's learning that now. Let's go, Skylar. W's for Skylar in that chat for the $20 on PayPal. I appreciate you for the love. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, Skylar, and Madison. Y'all are awesome. Thank you for the anarts as well. So, what do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about Kamala Harris, and I want you to explain to me why you would vote for her, because all the stuff that she's saying that she's going to do when she's president, I want you to explain to me why she can't just do it now if she's already in office.
Yeah, of course. So first, let's start off with her economic policy. So the reason she can't implement economic policy now is, well, first, it's different from what Biden supports and she's a VP. And second of all, Congress replaces economic policy every 10 years. The expiration date of Trump's tax cuts are 2025, little bro. But talking about economic policy, she wants to cut tax for 100 million American workers in the low and middle class, and she knows how she's going to pay for it. Trump wants to reinstitute his Tax Cuts and Jobs Act for another 10 years, estimated to cost $3.9 trillion. How is he going to pay for it? And Lindsay with the $6 and the 66 cents on Venmo. Thank you for the love.
Man, I remember the day Trump first stepped in office. Me, and my mother, we split our stock shares back then. Well, now I'm out of that. She used to teach me that as a kid, but you don't need to know all that. But my point is, literally our stock fucking brokerage doubled the day he fucking went in office, and it nonstop kept going up. The market is in fucking shambles, and there's no denying that.
There actually is denying that.
There is?
Do you track
Okay,
the market?
show me numbers then. This year's better than that last year, apparently, right?
I just want
This year's better. Show me the gas prices now compared
Yeah,
to when
wait,
they were $2
wait.
a
I have a
gallon
question.
back in
Do you?
2016.
Hey, Jason. Let's talk about the market. IVA. Thank you for the boxing gloves. Do you invest?
What do you mean, do I invest? I just told you I do.
Kevin, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. I just wanted to say thank you for the debates. I appreciate you, Kevin. We're at all-time highs.
What?
Dow Jones, NASDAQ, S&P 500, all-time highs.
I don't do S&P 500.
Mickey, I appreciate you for the rockstar. I appreciate you for the love. I have a question. What is a bullish market? Since you said you invest, what is a bullish market?
I never said I was a pro investor. I said I invest a little. I'm not no fucking sweat at this shit.
Oh my God!
I put my money there and I watch it grow.
Yeah,
I don't
you know
fucking do
so
all
much.
this shit.
You know so much
now
about
you're
the
gonna
market.
say, oh, he's not a
You know
pro
so much
stock
about the
brokerage,
market.
so he can't talk about that.
You
Like, what?
think that you have to be a pro to know what a bullish market is? Crazy. And you also never answered my question. So I asked you about Trump's economic policy. He wants to reinstitute his tax cuts for the ultra wealthy for another 10 years. It's estimated to cost nearly $4 trillion. Jason, how's he going to pay for it?
I don't know, because Biden put us in so much debt. That's a good question.
Okay, so actually, Trump signed more debt into law than Biden.
No, he
8.6
did
trillion.
not. He's actually the only president, and you can look this up. Look up in your records. He's the only president who went into
Lindsay,
office.
thank you for the $6 and the 66 cents on
go.
Venmo. Thank you for the love. And Connor, thank you for the $5 on Venmo for the 13 continents. And Corey with the $5 on Venmo saying this guest has stocks in my pillow. Probably, Corey. Thank you for the $5. W's for Connor, Lindsay, and Corey. So I just want to clarify. So Trump signed 8.6.
No, that's not what I was saying. I was gonna say how can you clarify and explain why every other president...
Kylie, thank you for the $5 on Venmo for cooking Jason, and Anna with a $5 saying that his mommy is stealing from him. Thank you for Anna and Kylie. Go ahead.
Every other president who went into fucking office before Trump, when they got out of office, they had a profit. Their net worth went up. When Trump went out of office, his net worth went down because he's actually paying his hard-earned money and helping out this country instead of using it as a profit scheme like Kamala Harris, bringing Megan Thee Stallion out on the stage.
Jason, with all due respect,
to get all these kids
Hey,
brainwashed.
Jason, with all due respect, we were talking about Trump's economic policy. Could we stay on topic?
Trump's economic policy, that has something to do with it. My point is he dumped literally almost $1 billion into this country of his own money. Does that not have anything to do with economics?
He specifically dumped $1 billion into.
I don't know if it was exactly $1 billion, but it was a lot of money. You can look it up.
And then he turned around and he spent
Look it up, man. Stop
$400
talking. Just look it up.
million
Because I know you don't believe a thing I say.
So, Jason, what I was referencing was his economic policy, what he wants to do for America. So I was talking about his tax policy. So his tax policy predominantly benefits rich people at the expense of the low and middle class, and it's projected to cost $3.9 trillion for another 10 years, and he doesn't have a clue how he's going to pay for it. You also said that Biden increased the debt more than Trump. That's false. Trump signed into law $8.6 trillion in debt-related spending. Meanwhile, Biden and Harris only signed in 4.6. If we account for COVID, Trump still spent twice as much as Biden and Harris. Your claims are analytically and rigorously false. And if you want to know why his net worth has dwindled, that's because his publicly traded company, Trump Media, has crumbled. Their year-by-year projections set in 2021 have been fallen short by a factor of 60%, by 60 times. That's because he's a terrible businessman. He's gone bankrupt.
Terrible, but you can say a lot about that man, but you cannot say he's a bad businessman.
Of course I can. So he got a $400 million.
You ever read his book? You don't even know anything about the man.
Hey, Jason, he got a $400 million endowment from his father. If I was the same age as Trump and invested that in the S&P 500, I would have a bigger net worth now than he does.
Okay,
if he cannot beat the S&P 500, then he is a terrible businessman. He also has 6 bankruptcies. Can you name one good businessman with 6 bankruptcies?
Okay, Nate, give me one good businessman with 0 bankruptcies.
The average millionaire has 1.2. I'm asking you to name one good businessman with 6.
Well, if you realize how many businesses he has, if you fucking do like the averages and shit, it would probably cancel out for some normal Joe who owns one
So I'm
business.
asking you to clarify here. Can you name one good businessman with 6? Can you or can you not?
Well, if you let me pull out my Google, give me 10 minutes, I probably could, but no, I can't right now off the top of my head.
But he's a good businessman. So how is he going to pay for his tax
He is a good
cuts?
businessman. You can't say that he's not a good businessman because he had a few companies that went under. Companies go under every single day, especially small businesses now.
The reason I'm saying he's not a good... The reason I'm saying... Oh, wait. How did Joe Biden cause small businesses to crumble?
Inflation. You can't afford anything.
How did Joe Biden cause inflation?
Oh, my God. Okay, if he didn't cause it, then who the fuck did? Because it was perfectly fine before he stepped in that office. That man couldn't even finish his sentence.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you're asking me what caused inflation? It'd be the global pandemic. But if your argument here is, well, it happened under his presidency, therefore it's caused
pandemic, more like the fucking flu. I'm dead ass. You look at me that look, scared of a little pandemic. I got it 3 times and I didn't even break a sweat.
Oh, okay. So
my mom got it. My mom's 60 years old. She got it. My grandma got it. She 80 years old, and she ain't have no vaccine.
I just want to clarify here. So, did you agree with like warp speeding the approval of the vaccine to become quickly available to Americans? Did you agree with that?
That is the stupidest thing you could possibly do. Wouldn't you want a vaccine that you're putting into your body? Wouldn't you want to know 100% that it works? So no, Jason, you shouldn't speed that shit out to everyone. Okay, no, they should spend years working on that.
Everyone remember his quote. So I asked him if he agreed with warp speeding the approval of the vaccine, and he said that's the stupidest thing anyone could do. So would you agree whoever did that was fucking stupid?
I just wanted to say, I do not...
No, Jason. So Trump warp speeded the approval of the vaccine. So Trump did the stupidest thing that you could fucking do
The approval of the vaccine that, okay, but who
through
required that
Operation
you
Warp
have to take
Speed.
it? Who required that you have to take it? Trump never
We're
required
not.
you to take
Hey,
it.
Jason, we're not going to pivot. You said that that warp speeding the approval of the vaccine was one of the stupidest things you could do. Trump warp speeded the approval of the vaccine through Operation Warp Speed. So did Trump do one of the stupidest things you could do? He's running. Catherine, thank you so much for the $20 on PayPal. I want to get some massive W's in the comment section for Catherine for mogging the fuck out of Jason. Thank you so much for the love, Catherine. Thank you so much. Massive W's for Catherine. Thank you so much for the love. And Angela with a $5 on Venmo. Morgan with a $5 on Venmo. And Bear Hyper with a $5 on Venmo. And Haley with a $5 on Venmo too. W's for Angela, Morgan, Haley, Bear, and most importantly, Catherine with a $20. So yeah, would you say that Trump did one of the stupidest things he could have done by warp speeding the approval of the vaccine?
I'd say that you're
Shalika, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. Warp speed, Jason, back to the queue. So real. Go ahead.
Honestly, bro, like I don't get people like you. Like, how can you sit there and be so blind to the fact? Like, you're acting like the Joe Biden administration didn't fucking destroy the country.
Jason, you're acting like you don't have 5,000 people watching you actively squirm and pivot.
I don't give a shit. The thing with me is I don't give a shit. You give a shit. That's why you're all careful with your words and shit. I don't give a fuck. You can think whatever you want about me.
So Trump warp speeded the approval of the vaccine. Was that really stupid?
Doesn't fucking matter. That's not why I vote for him. I vote for him because he makes the money right. He's a businessman. That's what we need in this country. We're going to fucking hell.
So if he was such a good businessman, name one policy he signed into law that benefited the low and the middle class more than the rich people.
You're asking me to name all these policies like I fucking do my research on politics and all this shit. No, I vote for the motherfucker who makes my money look right when I look at my paycheck.
Did you just say that? You really just said that you don't do research on politics and you thought that was a flex?
I'm not saying I don't do no research on politics. I'm saying I don't sit here fucking tapping away in my computer doing that shit. No, I got a life. I got a life, motherfucker. I don't sit here watching the news all day or some bullshit like you.
Are you stigmatizing education? M Sharp, thank you for the boxing gloves. Thank you for the love. W's for M Sharp down below.
You work overtime and then talk to me.
Hey, so I appreciate you for the head arts. So yeah, when I ran a dog food company, I did 55 hours a week, 15 hours of overtime, and I worked about 50 hours a week today. Yesterday, I worked 13 hours. So I don't know what you're yapping
13
about.
hours, what? Sitting there on your little computer or whatever, debating with people when there's nothing to fucking debate about.
There's really not much to debate about with you because you're seemingly ignorant.
Something about politics, though, you got to realize it's an opinion. You're
Shut up. Patrick, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. Just tuned in and you're cooking. Let's get some W's in the chat for Patrick. Hey, could you thank Patrick real quick for the $5 you just donated?
Yo, Patrick, you a bitch. Word of my mother, I'll spit on you.
Did you just say that you spit on someone?
I said I'd spit on him. I'd stomp on him because he's a supporter in your
fucking
stream. Yeah, I said
Oh, Jesus. Crash out on live. I apologize for the use of his slurs. And Patrick, I'm so sorry for that stray.
But I do want to make it clear, like, my perspective on abortion, because I will admit, I know a lot of women who have gone ahead and gotten elective abortions.
Okay, just want to talk about the economy. So you're voting for him because he's better for the economy. I disagree. Why do you think Trump is better for the economy than Harris?
So I've heard you talk about tax cuts, right? First off, I want to ask you a question. Why does there need to be any funding when it comes to cutting taxes?
Because it creates debt-related spending.
In what way? Like what way is cutting taxes on the American people creating debt spending?
Yeah, so if you cut taxes on the American people, you're reducing the government revenue by like X percentage, and then with like a solid or with like the same amount of government spending, that will lead to a greater deficit year by year, right? So the two ways of addressing that is either to cut spending in other areas or just to pay for it through new means, and the same could be said for any type of direct spending either, right? So a decrease in government revenue is essentially the same as an increase in government spending at the end of the day.
Okay. And Kamala, from what I've heard from you, she's planning on... Kamala. She's planning on using the additional taxes that she's going to put on those who make $400,000 or more. Is that what her policy is. That's what I've
So
read.
Kamala Harris wants to cut taxes for 100 million American workers in the low and the middle class by increasing the corporate tax rate and increasing taxes on the ultra wealthy, people making over the people that have over $100 million in assets.
Okay, no, that's fair.
So why do you think that Trump is better for the economy? I could ask you the question. He wants to reinstitute his Tax Cuts and Jobs Act that disproportionately favor rich people for another 10 years, estimated to cost $3.9 trillion. How is he going to pay for it?
So this was the same Jobs Act that he had when he was a president, correct?
It's a little bit different, a little bit higher tax cuts, but yeah.
Okay, because I have read a few different sources. I don't have them offhand, but I can get them. That have said that even during the time of his presidency, when he did those specific cuts, that it did in fact benefit the middle class, and it did help them get taxes.
They disproportionately helped rich people, right? So there
Yeah,
were
but
like
that's
tax cuts towards the
the
middle class,
nature of
however,
when you took
disproportionately.
any
No, it's
tax
actually not
cuts.
in the nature.
It is the nature that
No.
Yes, that those that are wealthier, that make over a certain amount of income, tend to have a better benefit when it comes to tax reductions.
Oh yeah, so it's not in the nature of tax reductions, right? So you're making the argument, well, the top 1% pay 45% of taxes, therefore they're going to be disproportionately favored regardless of what those taxes are. So no, not necessarily. You could strictly cut taxes for individuals making under a particular threshold, or you could apply like a flat reduction, not by a percentage of income, but rather like an increase in the child tax credit, or right, specifically what Trump did is he disproportionately favored the top 1%, granting them 83% of the tax cuts in the bill, when if we were to proportionately grant them tax cuts, it would have been about 45% of the tax cuts in the bill. And no, under Kamala Harris's tax plan, right, this is going to disproportionately favor the low and the middle class by placing hard limiters on things such as prescription drug prices, limiting the amount that any American can pay to about $2,000 a year, and increases in the child tax credits, first-time home buyer subsidy for newly developed properties. These are all going to disproportionately favor the low and the middle class, right? But I guess the question I'd ask you here is, how is Trump going to pay for the $3.9 trillion in debt-related spending for his tax cuts for another 10 years? Because I could tell you exactly how Harris is going to pay for hers.
Right. No, you know what? I'll give you that. I'll give it to you, because I do think that when it comes to, I know he does, and I know he has historically added more into our deficit. So I will give that to you 100%.
Okay, but earlier you told me the reason that you're still going to vote for Trump even though you're pro-choice and you recognize the moral atrocities that he's responsible for by advocating to overturn Roe v. Wade was that he's better for the economy. But now you're seemingly conceding that he has no real economic plan, or at least not as good as what Harris had.
So as much as I am thinking about voting for Trump, I will say, like you and Parker, I've been watching you guys a lot, and there's a lot of things I can't argue with what you're saying. So I am open-minded to listening and learning a little bit more. I mean, I try and do research. I have a newborn, so it's kind of impossible to like pay attention all the time. But I definitely am more open to learning and, hearing some of the things that you guys constantly point out. I give it to you guys because you definitely know what you're talking about. And like I said, I'm definitely
talking to this fucking dude.
Okay. Hi. Yeah, you said in the chat that I'm a shill. What does that mean?
That is a paid for person by whatever party, whatever you got going on. I'm already knowing that you're purporting a narrative. Like, I've already scrolled through this shit plenty of times.
Who am I paid by?
You're gonna pull this. Well, if this president, if he raped your
who am I paid by?
grandmother, if he raped your daughter, that's that bullshit you always pull. Like,
I have polka dots up. Who am I paid by?
Huh?
Who am I paid by?
It could be whatever DNC Democratic funded thing that you got going on in Harry Sisson, bro.
Do you have any evidence
y'all.
Do you have any evidence that I'm paid by the DNC?
Isn't there like a screenshot of the other dude that you're friends with, Harry Sisson, that's paid like $100,000 a month or some shit?
Oh, you're talking about the $400,000 a month that Tim Pool and other Republicans got paid by the fucking Kremlin. No, you're not talking about Democrats. You're talking about the Republicans who the DOJ just proved were getting paid by Russia. And Kevin, thank you for the $10 on Venmo from not the DNC, and Betsy with a $15 on Venmo straight from the DNC. Thank you so much, Kevin and Betsy. W's for Kevin and Betsy in the chat. Thank y'all so much for the love. So where's the evidence that I paid for by the DNC? You seemingly don't have any evidence. So the question I'd ask you, it's just common sense? Well, people thought it was common sense. People thought it was common sense that the Earth was flat 200 years ago. So do you have like a similar train of thought to flat earthers?
I mean, we all know flat earthers are retarded, bro. Come on now.
And he slurs, of course. Anyways, Emil, I appreciate you for coming up. Is there anything else that you wanted to go over?
No, Dee, I just want to say thank you so much. I really enjoy watching you guys. So keep doing what you're doing.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you for your love. We're going to move on to our next guest. Let's go get Patrick Henry 07 up in here. For the 1.9 thousand people hanging out with us in here, make sure that you are double tapping away on that phone screen. Hello, Mr. Patrick. Are you voting for Donald J. Trump?
What's up?
Are you voting for Trump?
Nah, no way. Sorry, bro.
All right. Appreciate you for coming up, guys. Make sure if you are in the queue that you are voting for Trump in November. We are just looking to talk to people that are voting for Trump. Y'all, so everyone give us a minute to get our next guest up in the box. Y'all make sure that you're double tapping away on that phone screen, spamming that chat, and sharing that live. What's going on, Sean? Are you voting for Trump?
What's up, man? Yeah, I am.
Okay, why's that?
Because I enjoy I like his policies. I like the fact that he, you know, I know you're going to start off with saying that, oh, something about the convicted rapist comment and all that stuff.
You said you liked his policies. What's one policy that he influenced to get passed while he was president?
The no tolerance
that benefited
policy.
one moment that benefited the low and the middle class more than the top 1%.
The no, I enjoy. I resonate more with the no tolerance policy when it comes to the border.
So what is the no tolerance policy?
Yeah, so it completely takes away all the illegal immigrants within our country.
Okay, so when did Trump pass this no tolerance policy?
When was it? 2017? 2016?
Okay, so no, this is not the name of a bill that he has ever passed. In fact, I would love for you to go on congress.gov and find me the official Senate number of this bill because it doesn't exist.
Hey man, why did you vote for the guy who showered with his daughter though?
Okay, well, I mean, first of all, I did not vote for Biden, and second of all, I do not believe that we could verify the claim that he showered with his daughter. But I just want to clarify, you do think that. Do you believe that Trump raped E. Jean Carroll?
No.
So I just want to clarify here. So Ashley Biden had her diary stolen from her, sold to Project Veritas, who has a track record of manipulating and changing documents that they get on political opponents. And then Ashley Biden said in her letter to the court that there's been false allegations lobbed at her and the people that she cares about. So you think that is sufficient reason to say that Biden has one moment, hey, Sean, one moment.
Hey, man,
you think that is sufficient?
You.
And you'd say that that is sufficient reason to believe that Biden showered with her daughter. But then Trump getting held civilly liable and confirmed to be guilty by a unanimous jury of 9 of his peers after 2 years of deliberation in a courtroom, provided the preponderance of evidence suggested by the accuser is not sufficient evidence to believe that Trump is a rapist. Could you tell me why you hold such a drastically different standard of evidence in these two scenarios?
Brother, I've seen you on lives literally say that he is he's a rapist, and the fact that you just say that without it being proven to be true is false. You're speaking false allegations.
Do you mind if you answer my question? Why do you hold a different standard for Ashley Biden than you do E. Jean Carroll?
Because Ashley Biden literally stated it factually in the diaries that it happened.
Literally stated factually in the diaries. So I have already responded to that. Would you like to repeat my response for me? Just to make sure that you heard me.
You went off on a rant. So what was the specific details that you said in regards to the diary?
You didn't listen. Don't worry. I'll say it twice. All right. So Ashley Biden.
Okay, man. Okay.
So her diary was stolen from her, sold to Project Veritas, a far-right think tank, who has a track record of manipulating documents that they get on political opponents. And then Ashley Biden said in her letter to the court that there's been false allegations lobbed at the people that she cares about. I'd say the contents of her diary are thereby unconfirmed or unverified. So the question I'd ask you is,
verified,
you're using an unverified, by whom?
There's multiple articles that are that you can look on that have verified the diary.
Are you talking about Snopes fact check?
There's that. There's other ones that
So
also...
in Snopes fact check, they say the reason they would account for the contents of the diaries being true was because of Ashley Biden's letter to the court. Could you give me a quote from Ashley Biden's letter to the court where she confirms the contents as being true?
No, I can't. I mean, I don't have a computer.
Okay, so then you can't give me any reason why we should accept the contents of the diaries verified. So why are you using?
It is verified. That it's for you to say it's not been verified that that it hasn't factually happened.
How has it been verified?
Also. Because it's already come out. It's like there's been proven to have there's been proven that the diary's been out, or that she wrote in the diary that.
So I'm asking you for that
proof. It was
proof.
probably wrong that Joe Biden showered with her.
I'm asking you for that proof.
I mean, bro, you know the
Oh,
you already know the
shit.
links, or you already know like what the proper links
Terrible.
are.
Okay, so you said that the Snopes article that fact checks it as being true is a proper form of verification for the contents of the diary.
I mean,
so
for
the
you to
Snopes
say
article
that, like,
says that
what
it's
are
true.
what are
Hey, Sean, was I
factually-
speaking?
No,
I was
speaking.
speaking. I was speaking. So the Snopes article that you just said was proper verification for the contents of the diary says that they believe that Biden had showered with his daughter because of Ashley Biden's letter to the court. Where in Ashley Biden's letter to the court does it confirm and verify the contents of the diary? Nowhere, right? So the question I'd ask you is, why do you accept an unverified, most likely manipulated diary from Ashley Biden to justify the claim that Biden showered with his daughter?
So this
but then
just
you
goes
don't
into
accept the
the-
ruling of
I
a
could-
court to accept that Donald Trump.
I could just say
raped
the
Asian
same
Carol.
exact thing back to you in regards to Trump. It's not hasn't even been factually proven to be true either. So for you to say all these
It sure
allegations
has.
that haven't, no, it hasn't.
Yeah, it sure has.
It's just no, it hasn't. It's just been held in a civil court, so it hasn't been proven that
Can
he
you
actually
name one
did
piece
it.
of evidence that was submitted to that?
It hasn't been proven that he actually did it. Is
What
it
are the
proven?
first-
Let me ask you:
Yes.
Is it proven?
Yep.
It's proven that he did it.
Yes.
So
What
why
are
is
the
he not in
first-
prison? Why is he
Because
not
it
in
was a
prison?
civil court that determined financial
You're lying, bro.
responsibility.
You're a fucking fraud. You're lying,
Hey, what are the first three words of the jury verdict form from the Trump v. Carroll?
bro.
Trump v.
And
Carroll rape
the
case?
other guest was completely right. You guys, not you, but I
Hey,
know
Sean,
that
I'm asking you a question. What are the first three
you're a
words?
fraud, bro.
From the... Okay.
you are
hey,
a fraud.
Hey, calm down, little boy. I understand that you're
Calm
getting
down,
emotional.
little boy. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm,
put the
so
binky.
emotional.
Put the
because
binky
you're
in.
speaking lies. You're a fucking liar.
Oh, let's get some. Do you need a Kleenex?
You're a liar. No. I'm not. I don't need a Kleenex, but I know you're a fucking
Oh, you're
liar.
crashing. Oh, you're crashing out. This is embarrassing.
Yeah, I'm crashing out, bro.
A little bit. So, what are the first three words on the jury verdict form from the Trump v. Carroll rape case?
You're a fucking liar.
Okay, could you answer my question? And he ran away. Let's get some brighter emojis in the chat for the baby. That's what happened. Dude, I swear to God, these conservatives are terrified of me. If you're watching this live and you're voting for Trump, you are fucking terrified of me. I scare you, and I know it. I terrify you. Did you hear him? His voice was quibbling. His voice was literally fucking trembling. I just had a grown man trembling, okay? Phenomenal.